In the Confident Athlete program, I often talk to the athletes about the things that we're teaching, the things that we're doing to help them become better athletes, to help them to be mentally tough and all of these other things. And I talk to them about the fact that these are all the same things I would teach them to be a better entrepreneur, to be a better parent, to be a better boss, to be a better employee. These are all things that they need to learn just to help them throughout life. But we can narrow them down into specific areas, like in the Confident Athlete program, where we're helping them to become better athletes and mentally strong athletes. Today I want to talk about some of the lessons I've learned from being an athlete. Hey, welcome back. Jeff Heggie, Daily Success Strategies. Thanks for being with me today. So the last week I've been watching a lot of the Calgary Stampede on TV. If you're not into rodeo, this is the time of the year from, over the 1st of July, the 4th of July. It's called Cowboy Christmas. There's some extremely great rodeos during that time. And the Calgary Stampede, we're in the middle of it right now. It was one of my favorite rodeos to be in. It's a big rodeo. Growing up, it was always a big thing. And so to be able to participate in it as a contestant was really cool, and it was always a highlight. And I was actually at an opportunity to interview someone for the Jeff Heggie show, and we were talking about her journey she was a Division I athlete and became an entrepreneur. And we were talking about the things that she utilizes in her entrepreneurial journey that she learned as an athlete. And so as I was reflecting today, as I was watching the Calgary Stampede, I was, reminiscing, thinking about when I was in the rodeos and all those things. And I got thinking about what are the things that I've learned that have helped me as an entrepreneur, have helped me as a business coach. And I wanted to share some of those things because, there's a wide range, even from, respect to the things that my coaches taught me, with character and leadership and all those things. There's definitely a whole bunch of things that we learn from being in athletics. But some of the things that I want to talk about, first of all, is failure. Because the truth is, in sports, we're failing all the time. And, whether it's my history in basketball, football, boxing, hockey, whatever, there's a lot of failures. And, every time you go out there and fail, you say, well, I'm not good enough and quit. No, you can't. In the sport of rodeo, every time you go out there, you're trying your best. And sometimes it's going to be you did something wrong. Sometimes it's going to be, in my case, it might have been I drew a bad steer, my horse did something wrong. There's a lot of different factors that come into play. But you fail more than you win. And one of the things you've got to be able to do is bounce back. And so one of the lessons I learned was failure happens and you've got to keep going. And then the next part is we've got to learn from every experience, good or bad, and use that experience to get better. And this happens with everything we do. Every time you do something, you're learning from it. But you've got to be able to conceptualize it and say, okay, what am I going to learn from this situation? How can I use this to get better? And that's the whole idea with a growth mindset. If you've got a fixed mindset, it's harder to do this. But with a growth mindset, you can do this. You can look at every situation and say, how can I use this experience to get better, win or lose? And that's a big part of it. Another part that I think is important, that this is what I know about sports and athletics, but I also know it's important in business, in whatever we're doing, is you've got to love what you do. Whether you're playing or you're practicing, you've got to love it. Because to be the best that you can be, you've got to put the work in, you've got to be dedicated, you've got to give it the focus, everything, all those things. To be able to really do it, you've got to love it. And that was one of the things about rodeo. Whether we were practicing or we were going to an actual rodeo, it was so much fun. We loved it. We wanted to do it so bad. The next part is don't give up, because you are going to fail. You're going to fail again and again and again. And you can't give up. You've got to be able to keep going, keep learning, keep getting better, keep putting the time into practice. If you go to my podcast with Tyson Durfee, and he talked about the work and effort he put in and just got better and better, and he knew he was getting better, and he knew he had put in the time and effort that he deserved it. And those were some of the things that got him to the point where he won a world championship. And there's a lot of these things. Like I said, failure is such a huge part of it, but you've got to be able to accept that and move on. One of my recent episodes of the Jeff Heggie show was with Josh Frost. Right now, the last time I looked, he was number 2 in the world in the bull riding, and he had probably $120,000 won. Still, at the Calgary Stampede, he won the first round on his first bull. His next 3 bulls, he got bucked off. But every time he gets bucked off, he's getting on the next one with the mindset that he's going to win. And that's why he's number 2 in the world right now, fighting for that number 1 spot. And that's why he's going to end up being a world champion. Now, the next part is, I think, an important part too. You've got to be able to celebrate the wins. You've got to be able to enjoy the victories. But you've got to keep working towards that bigger goal. Because even though you've got that victory that you need to celebrate and enjoy, the next failure might be tomorrow. It might be in an hour. It might just be right around the corner. Using Josh Frost as an example, he won the first night at the Calgary Stampede. The next 3 nights he got bucked off. So we've got to look at the victories that we have and be able to celebrate those, but be ready to keep learning, keep growing, keep getting better, because the next failure might be right around the corner, and we've got to be able to face that and keep going. There's so much to learn from sports. There's so much to learn from all different hobbies and events that people are involved with. And when you're growth minded about it and can look at things as learning opportunities, learning experiences, there is a lot to be learned. And like I said, even when we start digging even deeper, the things I learned from my coaches with leadership and with character and all those different things. So I challenge you, look at your own life. What are the things that you've been involved with, whether it was sports or something else, and currently involved with? And how is that helping you to be a better person, whether it's in the business world, in something else, or maybe you're still in athletics. Maybe you're still an athlete and you have an opportunity to look at these things and say, what are these situations teaching me so that I can become a better athlete? And, I haven't talked about it on here for quite some time, but my Confident Athlete program, great program. Love getting these athletes involved in it. You can find out more about it at jeffhaggie.com/confidentathlete. Lot going on this week. I hope you're having a successful week. I hope you're staying focused. I hope you're working towards the goals that we established on Monday that you were going to achieve by Friday. Keep that focus, keep working towards it. And, if this is something that's helpful, please go share it with someone. And again, I love hearing all the feedback from y'all. Now, one thing that I'll just mention here, and it's because it's something I put on Instagram yesterday and got some really good feedback for it. And so I'm actually opening up a few more spots. I'm doing a 90-day challenge with a few people, helping them, and the whole focus is helping them achieve some goals by the end of summer without giving up their summer. I've talked to a lot of people that basically give up on all their goals throughout the summer because they want to spend time with the family, they want to go on vacation, all those things. I want to show you some shortcuts that are going to allow you to still focus on making sure you can achieve all those goals without major time commitments, without missing out on family things, without missing vacations. Don't lose your momentum by saying, you know what, I'm giving it a break till summer's over. You can keep the momentum going with a lot less time commitment, but just more focus. And I've created a system that I want to help you put that all together. If you want to hear more about that, just shoot me an email, jeff@jeffhaggie.com. I originally opened it up to 10 people. I'm going to go at least 15 people. So if you're one of those first 15, love to have you join us. But thanks for being with me. I'll be back tomorrow. Are you an entrepreneur who wants to discover the breakthrough secrets that will produce the results you've been searching for, but you just can't seem to figure out why you keep working harder and harder and you're just not getting those results? I want to tell you about a new challenge that I've created just for you, the Business Domination Challenge. If you want to create the entrepreneurial lifestyle and the business you dream of, then this is exactly what you're looking for. I created the Business Domination Challenge to show you how to grow your business exponentially and to become an optimal performing entrepreneur. What's an optimal performing entrepreneur? It's an entrepreneur who's succeeding in all areas of their life. If I show you how to build a successful business, but your relationships, your health, and everything else is falling apart, that's not a success. It's not about working harder, it's about implementing the correct principles and becoming the person who can do the things that produce the results. Hurry and go to jeffheggie.com/business domination and secure your spot today.
Hey, athletes and parents of athletes. So much time, money, and effort is put into the physical aspect of your sport to become the best you can be. But the mental game, it's often neglected, and it's just as important as the physical game. In fact, it's usually the differentiator between the good and the great athletes. Come and join me in the Confident Athlete program where you'll learn to control your confidence, develop a powerful mindset, and unlock your full potential. Go to jeffheggie.com/confident athlete to find out more.